Good morning, and welcome to CHINQUAPIN Cottage, my new little home out here in the country. It's not too far from Aiken, not too far from Columbia, definitely not too far from Batesburg. And it's a place that I believe that God has led me to maybe discover His purpose for my life. I believe that God has a purpose for everybody's life. I believe it because the Bible tells us so. Romans 8:28, which is my life verse, tells us that God uses all things to the good of those who love Him and are called to His purpose. That's been my life verse because, well, like everybody, I've gone through a good bit of adversity in my life. I've faced a good bit of challenges. I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't go through life every day facing some sort of mountain that they have got to climb? Even if the rest of the world looks at it and says it's a molehill, to that person, it's a mountain. So we all have those struggles. And I believe that God is there as our answer to whatever those struggles and challenges are. I believe that because there's no real good reason that I'm still around. 6 months ago today, on June 18th, 2016, I was rolled into the operating room at the Medical University of South Carolina, and they cut open my head to repair an acute subdural hematoma. And 65% of the people who undergo acute subdural hematoma surgery don't survive. That's what some of the research says. Some of the research also says that 14 to 40%, only 14 to 40%, come out of acute subdural hematoma surgery with no adverse effects. No disabilities, no cognitive loss, no fine motor skill losses. 14 to 40%. That's a pretty low number. Now, I'm blessed in that I came out with no perceptible disabilities. I got a little weakness in my left hand, which I can work on and get stronger. I maybe am a bit goofier. Of course, I was goofy to begin with, but maybe inside they hit a little goofy button and made me a touch goofier. Okay, I'll own the fact that maybe I'm a bit goofier than I was June 18th, but I'm still here. I'm still, as I say, vertical and above ground, and I believe that I'm here for some reason. There are no accidents in this world. There are no coincidences. They happen for a reason. And I don't know why. I don't know why God kept me around when He takes so many good people. When so many good people are killed or die or undergo disease. I don't know. I don't know. That's a big question. But I know that God uses it all. Maybe God uses somebody's death to bring somebody else closer to God. I don't know. That's one of the big mysteries of humankind and one of the big mysteries of our relationship with our Creator. I don't know. But I do know He kept me around, and I do know He kept me around for a reason. Now, what is that reason? Well, I'm not a perfect guy, not by any stretch of the imagination. I'm as messed up as everybody, as anybody. And that's why I need God, because I'm a messed up person. You know, God offers us grace through this season, this Christmas season, when He gave us Jesus Christ. That's the very reason He brought Jesus to earth, was because we're messed up people. And we need that personal relationship with God, and we need that personal relationship with Jesus. We need to believe in Jesus Christ to bring us closer to God. That's how He saves us. So, I'm as messed up as the next person. I'm not putting myself on some pedestal as a person who's got all the answers. But I do have a lot of questions. And I think that's one of the things that God has laid on my heart. You know, God has given me some gifts. He gave me the ability to write, and I made a pretty good living at it for a while. He's given me the ability to communicate, to be able to talk kind of freely, albeit sometimes rambling and goofy. And I believe He gave me that gift for a reason. And one of the things, really, since I've been out here on the farm, that God has laid on my heart is this idea called the CHINQUAPIN Cottage Conversations. Now, I've had this in my head for a while, but when God led me out here to the farm, it kind of solidified the idea, because this just seems like a place where some serious talking can happen. You know, we all have those places in our backyard where we can sit up under a tree or sit around the fire pit and kind of tell tall tales and lie and laugh and kind of do goofy stuff with our friends. We all kind of have those backyard adventures. CHINQUAPIN Cottage seems like the type of place where we can have some serious conversations. Fun, but serious conversations. And I think that's what God has laid on my heart, is to do something called CHINQUAPIN Cottage Conversations. What I'd like to do is to get people who are leaders in their particular disciplines. Business, sports, the arts, education, faith, to come out here and visit me at the cottage. And we'll do kind of what we're doing now. We'll set up a camera. We'll strap on a microphone or put a microphone in front of us. And we'll just have a conversation. We'll talk to each other. Just a couple of people just communicating on a real level. We all have struggles. We all have challenges. And I'd like to have conversations with people who have met those challenges and met those struggles with the help of God. I want to find out how God has worked in your life. I want to find out how God has moved in your life. And I want to share that with the world. You know, the thing about the internet is you can put a video in front of somebody and it can be dun, 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 keyboard cat, or it can be, you know, whatever. It can be, you know, somebody doing an amazing dunk, which I could never do, vertically challenged as well as gravity challenged. You can put those things on YouTube and they go viral and the world sees them. Why not do the same thing with a conversation of faith? And take the audio from that and put it out there, and people can download it on their iPods and their phones. The smartphone culture we live in, where people listen to music all the time. They pop it into their cars and they listen to it. Or they listen to it at night when they're alone and they feel the darkness closing in. So I think if God has given me the ability to be a communicator, maybe that's why He's given me this opportunity to live out on the farm, to have those conversations. So I want to invite you, if you're a leader in your particular discipline, business, education, sports, medicine, business, whatever you do well, and if you've had a struggle and you've had a challenge and God has led you through it, come out and let's have a conversation. Let's do a CHINQUAPIN Cottage conversation right out here among all this beauty. Right out here, not too far from the creek if you want to. Right out here in the backyard. Let's have a conversation and let's share that story. And maybe your story can help somebody else who's had a similar story and just doesn't know Jesus Christ. Doesn't know the answer, doesn't see the light out there in the world. You've seen it. You've seen God work in your life. I know I've seen it. I know I've seen God work in my life. I wouldn't be here if God didn't work in my life. I wouldn't be here. So let's come out to the farm. Drop me a message. Shoot me an email. Hit me up on Facebook. And let's have a conversation. Come on out to the cottage. Let's have a CHINQUAPIN Cottage conversation. And let's share the story of God in your life, in my life, and in this troubled world. Come on out to the cottage and have yourself a CHINQUAPIN Cottage conversation. Come on out to the farm.